During the Then and Now mini study, we have been learning about how the things around us have changed, including the toys and games we play with. One game that kids used to play with then is called the board game. You can still play board games today, but they look a little bit different than some of the other games you might play at home, like video games or computer games. There are many different types of board games you can play. Today we are going to use this board to play a counting board game. In addition to this board, we will use dice and a game piece to go from start to finish. We will use this red game piece to move along the board and dice like these to tell us how many spaces to move. On each turn, we will roll the dice and then count how many dots there are. Then we will move the red game piece that many spaces along the board. Let's see what this looks like. First, we roll the dice. Then, we look at the dice to count how many dots there are. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means there are 4 dots on the dice, and we need to move our game piece 4 spaces like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do this over and over until we reach the finish line. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. First, we roll the dice. Now, we count the number of dots on the dice. Use your finger to count along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because 5 was the last number that we said, that means there are 5 dots on the dice, and we need to move our game piece 5 spaces. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that we've moved our game piece 5 spaces, let's roll again. Great. Let's count how many dots there are. 1, 2, 3. If there are 3 dots on the dice, how many spaces do I move my game piece? That's right, I move my game piece 3 spaces. Let's move it 3 spaces together. 1, 2, 3. I landed on the purple dot. Now it's time to roll again. I bet you can see how many dots are on this dice without actually counting. That's right, there's just 1. That means we move our game piece 1 space. 1. Now, before we roll again, I want you to predict what number do you think we are going to roll next? I predict we're going to roll a 4 next. Do you have your prediction in your head? Let's see if you're right. Remember, I predicted we were going to roll a 4. Don't forget your prediction as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 dots. I predicted we were going to roll a 4. Was I right? No, I wasn't, but that's okay because we still get to move our game piece 6 spaces. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I predicted we were going to roll a 4 and we rolled a 6. I got to move more spaces because I rolled a 6 than I would have if I rolled a 4. Let's keep going. Let's count our dots. 1, 2. Now we move our game piece 2 spaces. 1, 2. This time I landed on green. Roll our dice again. Now, before we count how many dots there are together, I want you to look and say how many dots there are without counting. Just guess by looking. Hold that number in your head and see if you're right as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you said there were 4 dots before you counted, you were right. Good job. Let's move our dice that many spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, it looks like we're almost to the end of the game. Now, I want you to count how many dots there are on your own this time. Remember to use your finger to count as the dots turn red. How many dots did you count? If you said 3, you're right. There were 3 dots. Let's move our game piece 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, let's roll again. Let's count our dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can move our game piece 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, we are almost at the finish line. Let's see if we make it to the finish line with this last roll. Let's count our dots. 1, 2, and now let's move our game piece. 1, 2. Oh wow, we made it to the finish line. Congratulations, we won. Today we played a counting board game. We counted the number of dots on the dice and moved our game piece to the finish line. See if you have any board games around you that you can play. If you don't, you can use paper and markers or crayons to make a board game just like this.